Tony D and Little Joan with Screenwriter's Rant on Retribution, starring Liam Neeson as a guy who's not taken. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. Links in the description. Comedy Horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys, books 1 through 11, available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. In one scene, he has to kill Matthew Modine, who gets to be in it. So the basic premise, and this is good for Liam because it doesn't require him running around, and he is getting up there. He, I don't know who he is. They don't really make that clear, but here's Matthew Modine. They strap a bomb to him, well, to his kid's car. Him and his kids are in the car, and they strap a bomb to it. And if he gets out, kaboomo, and so he has to do whatever the guy says. So he does everything he can to warn people and do stuff. He refuses to shoot his good friend Matthew Modine, and they blow him up anyway. But then he's somehow going to turn the tables on him, and I guess that's the guy there. Retribution. August 25th, only in theaters. It looks fine. Looks okay-ish. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. I'm not sure why all the retribution is happening to him. Doesn't really get into that, but it's got a good premise, a solid premise. At some points, he gets out of the car. I guess his kids get out or they're injured, but in this scene, Matthew Modine's car blows up, so I guess they both get injured. He refuses to shoot him. So, you know, it's a standard thriller. This would be a standard thriller. First act, he's living his life, and some strange machinations are happening, but he doesn't quite see it yet. Him and his kids and his wife doing stuff, going about their lives, however they're doing it. You set up whatever the emotional hook will be later, right? So maybe they're on the verge of divorce, or maybe they are divorced, but they're thinking about getting back together, but it's not really coming together, and because he's a absent father or something. And then through the course of the movie, he redeems himself in her eyes, or not. He could just be married. I mean, sometimes I think that's too much to throw into the drama, right? You're like, you know, you got a nice hamburger and then you add all these toppings to the things like stacks sky high and you bite into it, it all falls out. It's kind of what it is. It's like, you don't have to overthink it. If you have enough, you don't necessarily have to add that additional drama. It's enough that his kids are in danger. People are usually pretty freaked out by that and can understand his motivation. So the first act, the killer or whatever he is calls him on a cell phone that he hid in the car, says, I've wired your car with explosives, pressure sensitive. If you get out of the car, kaboomo. If you don't do what I say, sorry, blowing up, kaboomo. And he agrees to do what the guy wants, at least for now, because the guy blows up an extra car just to show him he means business. So then we're into the second act. Second act is him playing this cat and mouse game with the killer. And first he tries to make him shoot Matthew Modine. He refuses to do it. You know, there's this moment where he pulls out the gun and points it at him. And Matthew Modine is like, but you're my best friend. And then we get just maybe a hint of the exposition of why all this is happening. And maybe Matthew Modine's hands aren't that clean, and maybe something went on, and he says something, and Liam Neeson's about to discover it, and then kablamo, the bad guy blows Matthew Modine sky high, and nearly takes out him. But he keeps him in line, and at some point he gets out of the car, which is interesting. So maybe he allows Liam to get out of the car and keeps the kids in the car. right? So he keeps the kids in the car, keeps the kids hostage, and he can go outside and do whatever he wants. So this is retribution for what? We don't know. Um, so Liam is, I don't know. I don't know who he is. That's the one thing I'll say about this trailer. It should have given us who he is. It's not quite clear. I think he's a part of some board or company that did something bad, I guess. I'm guessing it's going to be one of those. I'm guessing they're going to somehow tie it into climate change. But you can make that work, you know. Companies do pollute, and sometimes they screw up, and people die. I mean, Google Union Carbide sometime. It didn't happen in the United States, but it was pretty horrific. Anyhow, third act, he turns the tables on the guy. I don't know. He disconnects a bomb or jams the receiver somehow. The whole time, or towards the end of I'll say towards the end of the second act, into the third act, the cops are after him. He starts breaking barricades and doing stunts and stuff. I think it's a solid way to use Liam Neeson in a movie without making him run around. Like they did this movie where, I don't know, he was some kind of hitman that was suffering from memory loss or something, and you know, it kind of didn't work for me, at least in the trailer, because it undermined the character. Like, I don't want to see him not being able to kill dudes. This is Liam Neeson. I want to see him like do cool stuff, but I also want it to be in a context that I feel like is at least somewhat believable. You know, he could still pull it off. I think he's in his 70s, but he looks younger, as most actors do. You know, he could pass for 60s, maybe even 50s. So, yeah, I mean, it's perfectly fine. He's still got the gravitas. Is this going to be as good as his other movies? I don't know. I mean, it could be, but I'm a little disheartened. I'm a little worried, I'll say, by the lack of detail in the trailer itself. That's an indication to me that maybe they just, went forward with a concept that's okay, but it's not great. I mean, there are some explosions, so they spent a little bit of money. There are stunts. It's in Europe, I guess. That makes it a little more realistic, I think. At least from an American perspective, because I don't know what the deal is with the cops in Europe. Here, they're not going to miss you if you run a blockade. Here, they're going to shoot you. They're going to shoot like 50 times if you even roll up 40 inches towards the blockade. He's coming at us. In Europe, maybe they have different engagement rules. I don't know. So let's see if there's any intel here. Starring Liam Neeson, Noma Demswani, and Matthew Modine. Director Nimrod, is that his name? Nimrod Antle, or is it Nimrod? It's got a little crazy mark above the O. Synopsis, here we go. An American businessman. He's not American. You didn't have to make him American. An American businessman must follow a series of orders after learning his car is wired to explode. I mean, this has been done before, but I think it can work with Liam Neeson here. Yeah. So I think it'll be pretty watchable. At the very least, it'll be watchable. It won't be boring. You'll get through it. It has the potential of being decent, though. So I might see it. I might. Anyhow, that's it for me, Tony D and little Joan. Oh, you feeling better? We went to the vet, so she's a little. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you tune in on Odysee, Bitchute, and especially Rumble, because I have a feeling I won't be here much longer. They are purging people from YouTube. They're purging them left and right. So keep it locked down in Rumble if you want to still catch me. And I'll see you in the next one.